credit mix. So last week, what did we do? Inquiries, 10% of your credit score. Credit mix, 10% of your credit score. We're at 20% of what makes up your credit score. And like I said, we're going to build on this till we get to 100%. All right. So all of those are revolving accounts. So while I'm here too, let me mention this while I'm here, because this comes up from time to time, just in conversation with individuals. So in regards to your credit score, because that's all we're really dealing with. My job, if you will, is to help you increase your credit score. My job is not to put you in debt. It's not to get you out of debt, but I'm telling you things that hopefully help you financially overall. So not just, get you a high credit score, but hurt you in the end because of the debt that you get put in. So listen to this. So in regards to your credit score only, all right, you don't get any more quote unquote credit or points added to your credit score for having a better card, if you will. So I'll put better in air quotes as well. Quote unquote better credit card. So Amex doesn't carry more weight than any lesser known credit card. All right, because a lot of people think that it does when it comes to your credit score. It does not. It may make you feel better because you got an Amex versus having a First Premier card when you whip it out at Target. Who cares? All right, so it doesn't matter at all when it comes to your credit score. The Visa Platinum versus the Black Card versus the Quicksilver versus et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All of these things, it does not increase your credit score because you have the upgraded or the better credit card, if you will. It does not increase your credit score at all. The mere fact that it's a credit card is the only thing that matters. So it does not matter who holds it, doesn't matter if it's black or if it's platinum or if it's titanium. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter if it's pretty. Doesn't matter if it has your favorite football team on it. None of that crap matters when it comes to your credit score. All right. So now, of course, there are benefits to some of these cards over other cards, right? So, yep, you got reward points that are much better on some of them than others. The interest rates could be better. They have a better app, whatever it is, stuff like that. But the credit bureaus don't take those things into consideration. And for the most part, they have no idea. They have no idea this particular card gives you point for point, $1 for every point, or whatever it is. They have no idea at all. So none of those things matter when it comes to your credit card. I get calls all the time, emails all the time about people saying, "Oh, I want an Amex." Like that is like the holy grail for them. I want an Amex, or I used to have an Amex and I got rid of it, or they got rid of me, and now I'm fighting to get my credit score back because I want an Amex. Doesn't matter at all when it comes to your credit score. If it makes you feel better, knock yourself out. But to your credit score, doesn't make a difference at all. So as long as you can wrap your mind around that, then you're going to be good. All right. So we talked about credit cards. That is the revolving portion of your mix. The other portion of your mix that I mentioned was installment. So installment loans usually have a term. Right? So that's a length of time for you to pay this particular account off, such as 12 months, 60 months, 30 years, and typically it has a consistent payment. That payment doesn't typically change over time. Typically, I said, because plenty of things change for a very various reasons, right? So here's an example. You buy a car and you finance it over 5 years, which is 60 months that I mentioned, for $500 a month. That's what it should stay at. It should be $500 a month for 60 months. The 60 months is your term, and it's got that consistent payment of $5 a month. Again, here, it doesn't matter, like I said with the credit cards, doesn't matter if Santander finances your vehicle, or Ford does it, or Toyota, or Ally, or Chase. It does not matter. You do not gain an advantage for getting a quote-unquote better place to finance your vehicle. You don't get anything. Your vehicle, your mortgage, or whatever it is. people have an affinity for whatever bank that they grew up with, or whoever they think they saw on TV and they like the CEO and they have an affinity for that particular bank. None of that matters when it comes to your credit score. You don't get any more points because your mortgage is financed through Wells Fargo and this person's mortgage is financed through ABC Mortgage Depot. You don't get any advantage as far as your credit score is concerned at all about that. Again, the advantage is going to come with what? Your interest rate, how much you're going to pay, what are the fees you're going to pay. Those are the kinds of things that you want to worry about and you want to deal with versus anything else, versus status, if you will, when it comes to who's financing your stuff. People that have the places that have the best interest rates typically are going to be your credit unions. Nobody's scouring around trying to get a credit union to finance them typically because there's not many of them out there that are big named, and have that affinity like a Wells Fargo or Bank of America or Chase or whoever it is. So make sure that you get the best deal possible no matter who's offering it to you, as long as it's the best deal for you. So those are your installment things. So those are the two main types of credit that you have. Now, what does the credit bureau or why does the credit bureau or FICO even care? Why do they even care what kinds of credit you have and that kind of thing? Well, here's the answer to that. Credit mindset. Yes, it depends on your credit mindset. That's why. So here's what they're thinking. Your credit mindset could be that you never or you rarely miss a car payment, for let's say, but your mortgage is late periodically. So maybe your credit card payments are late sometimes, and it makes a difference to the credit bureaus. So if you never miss a car payment, cool, that's good for you. But then you have your mortgage late every now and then, and you might miss that credit card payment. That makes a difference, and the credit bureaus are looking at, and they're trying to see what is this person's credit mindset. What do they value? Do they value this over that? And are they responsible all around, or are they responsible all around? So it makes a difference. So another one, perhaps your credit mindset is, I always pay my mortgage on time, but I'm overwhelmed with all of these credit cards. Not that you don't necessarily have the money to pay those credit cards, but maybe you just can't keep up. You can't keep up. You got too many credit cards with too many different due dates and whatnot, and you like to pay them on or right before the due date. Those are the kinds of things that may slip through the crack for some people. So it makes a sense. It makes a difference for them. And this might, if you can't keep up with that because of the dates or whatever it is, or how it falls versus your payday, then that makes a difference, and you might miss a payment here or there. Those are the kinds of things that the credit mix informs the credit bureaus about, and FICO and VantageScore. Those are the kinds of things that they inform them about, and that's what they're looking for. So these samples speak to your credit worthiness, and that's why this pillar, which is quote unquote only 10% of your credit score, makes an impact. It makes an impact on your credit score because they need to see, how is this person thinking about utilizing their credit? Are they good about paying this particular thing? Some people, like myself, I've never missed a car payment and I've never missed a mortgage payment. Now, in my mind, what I'm thinking is I need somewhere to stay, so I'm going to make that payment. I absolutely need somewhere to stay, so I'm going to always make that payment, right? With my vehicle, I'm a car guy anyway, so I'm going to make that payment regardless. I'm just going to make that payment. Back in the day, when it came to my credit cards, even though that payment for me was the smallest, $20 a month, $10 a month, whatever it was, I might miss that because my mindset was, oh, it's only $20. It's only $10. I wasn't thinking about how it could or how it did impact my credit and my credit score. So some people are the reverse. So some people are, I'm going to pay, and maybe it's only because it depends on how much money they have in the bank. I'm going to pay, my credit cards. This payment is only $10. This payment is only $30. So I'm absolutely going to pay that. I'm absolutely going to be able to pay that. But my mortgage is $1,500. I don't have $1,500 periodically, a couple times a year. I can't come up with that 1,500, so I'm going to miss that particular payment. So it all depends on the situation, and it's all about your credit mindset. So that's why these things make a difference, and this is why they even have this as part of the 5 pillars of credit. So later in the series, though, later in this series about the 5 pillars of credit, you'll see how this particular pillar, even though it's only 10%, added to another pillar combined to be more significant regarding your credit score as well. So stay tuned. Come back all the time. Come back next week too. Come back and you'll be able to glean what we're talking about here when we get to this whole 100% of what makes up your credit score. So here's some things I want you to think about. Yes, you need a credit card. Absolutely, you need a credit card. I know I'm always advocating for them. Nobody's paying me. Actually, if somebody were to pay me, then I'd let you know that they were paying me, and I'd be calling out names. You need to go get this X, Y, and Z silver card. You need to get this. You need to get that. Check out this card. But you don't hear that from me. But you do need a credit card because it is impactful to your credit. And you need more than one, but at least one, especially if you're building or rebuilding your credit. At least one credit card. Now, if you don't have an installment loan, don't. Listen to me now and hear me later. If you don't have an installment loan, don't go out and get one for the sake of your credit score. Don't do that. That's unnecessary. You can survive. You can get your credit score to move in a positive direction without going out and creating more debt for yourself by just simply getting a loan that you may not necessarily need. So every situation is different though. Everyone is different. So, but usually that's kind of hustling backwards if you just go get money that you don't absolutely need. And I told you with inquiries, don't apply for credit that you don't absolutely need. So it could be hustling backwards if you were to do that just to satisfy this particular pillar of credit. But if you have questions about this for your specific situation, contact me. Contact me. Hit me in the DMs or whatever it is you need to do. Contact me. So you can text me 312-600-5855. Send me an email 800@creditscoreman.com. Catch me on Facebook 800 Credit Score Man. Check out that page. Where else am I? Instagram 800 Credit Score Man. Send me something if you need to contact me and you want some specific direction about you and your situation. You can contact me there. Third thing that I'm going to say to you is, even if you have one of each, so you got one credit card and you got one installment loan, maybe it's a student loan and you got that one credit card or whatever it is, if you have one of each, the credit bureaus will tell you that that's not enough. It's not enough for them to really evaluate, to fully evaluate or judge you off of just one of each type of credit. So I have a few. For example, I have a few of each, and if I look at anything, any kind of comment from Vantage or from FICO or anything like that, they say that I don't have enough. All right? So take that into account. So keep that in mind when you're dealing with this. Also, keep in mind that I've held a perfect credit score of 850 since August. So, frankly, what do they know? But that's what they tell me. If I look at anything, they say you don't have enough of either one of them. And I've got several for both. I've got installment and I've got revolving. And historically, I've had both on my credit. So I want to make sure that you realize that you got to take all of these things, not necessarily with a grain of salt, but you need to take all of the 5 pillars of credit and put it together. You need to listen to the whole podcast to kind of catch everything that you need. Maybe you need to listen to it twice. You need to listen to it and catch everything that falls in there. And if there's any ambiguity, if there's any question at all that you have, you're not exactly sure what I said or what I meant, what you're going to do? You're going to contact me. Simple. Send me an email. You got your phone in your hand, 800@creditscoreman.com. Send me your email and we can talk about it and see what'll go on. So look, do this for me. Come back next week. Yes, you heard me right. Come back next week. I will be in studio and on the air the day after Christmas. absolutely, I'll be here. So come back next week. Listen to the show. You've got time off right now, maybe.